Hi, in this video we will implement custom identity using ASP.NET Core. Before moving on, if you're new to my YouTube channel, then subscribe it for more videos. First thing first, what is ASP.NET Core Identity? It is an API that supports user interface for login functionality. It manages users, passwords, profile data, roles, claims, email confirmation, and many more. It is a complete tool for authentication and authorization. In this video, we will be using these two classes, User Manager and Sign-in Manager. User Manager is responsible for registering new user and validating it when required. Sign-in Manager is a class that provides API for user sign-in. And lastly, these are the packages that we will use in our application. First is EF Core for database management. The second one is ASP.NET Core Identity EF Core that provides functionality for identity using EF Core. And next we have tools for migrations and SQL Server because we will use SQL Server database. After that, let's move on to Visual Studio and implement this. Create new project, MVC Model View Controller. You can also search it. Next, name will be custom identity. Next, here the framework is .NET 7. If you have .NET 8 available here, you can choose that. At this time, I have .NET 7 as latest version. Create. First of all, I will add a new folder. With the name data. Here, I will add a new class. AppDB context. This is a class that will manage database operations. It will be inherited from identity DB context. So if I click on control dot, it gives me the option to install identity.entity framework. Here we need to pass identity user and here I will have a constructor. It will have DB context options. Now in place of identity user, that is the default implementation for user, I want to have my own class. So for that reason, I will add a new model. Its name will be app user. It will be inherited from identity user. And here I will have two more properties. If I go to identity user, you can see that it has these properties: phone number, password, email confirm, username, access field count. So these are the properties that identity user possess. I want to extend these properties. String name, here I will have string address. So these are the two properties that we will use alongside the default properties. Here string will be nullable, and I want to have some data annotations. String length will be 100, maximum length will be 100, and I will make it required so that user must fill this name property. In AppDB context, I will replace identity user with app user. Now after that, I will go to app settings, and here I will set up connection string. Its name will be default, and it will have data source, that will be the name of server, and initial catalog, it will be the name of database, custom identity db. Let me open SQL Server. This will be the server name that I will use in my application here. And for Windows authentication, I will use integrated security, true, and trust server certificate, it will also be true. So this will be our connection string. After that, we will go to program.cs. First of all, I will get the connection string. Builder dot configuration dot get connection string. Okay, its name was default. So we will get the connection string from app settings with the name default, and after that I will use builder dot services dot add db context. So I will register my db context here. Its name is app db context. Here we have options dot use SQL server, and here we will pass connection string. Now this method is not available. I will install a package. This package. Also, I will install tools package. This one, Microsoft.efcore.tools. Now I will go back, control dot, So this is how we register AppDB context. And the last thing is builder.services.identity. Here we will pass app user and the class that will manage roles. So it will be identity role by default. After that, we will have add entity framework stores so that our identity could use EF core functionality. And lastly, add default tokens. So this means that it will provide the default functionality for reset password, change email, and change telephone number. There is one thing more here. I can provide options for identity. Options dot password dot. Do we need unique characters? No. Options dot password dot require uppercase? No. Options dot password dot length. It will be 8. Options dot password dot require non-alphanumeric. It will be set to false. Lastly, options dot password dot require lowercase. So these were the mandatory things affiliated with password. I am just removing them from the functionality that we don't need unique characters, we don't need messages for uppercase and lowercase, and also I don't want to use non-alphanumeric. This is how you register your DB context, and this is how you register your identity. The next step is migrations. From tools, we will go to NuGet Package Manager and Package Manager console. Add migration initial. We have got a code for migration and it gives information about tables. After that, I will update database. So it has been done successfully. I will go to SQL Server. Within databases, you can see that we have custom identity DB, and within it we have tables. Whenever we add identity in our database, we get these tables. So now we will make use of them for our functionality. The next step is to add views and a controller for login and register functionality. Now I will add a new folder. View models. Here I will add two new classes. Login view model and register view model. For login, we will have three properties. string will be nullable, password will be data type, dot password, and also username will be required with error message. Username is required, and for password it will also be required. And for remember me, I will display it as remember me. So this is a model that we will use for login purpose, and also I need to have register view model. Name, email, password, confirm password, address. Confirm password need to be matched with password. Password don't match. This name is required. Email is also required, and its data type will be data type dot email address. Password is also required, and its data type will be password. So after that we will have a new controller, and its name will be account. It will have login functionality, register functionality, and logout functionality. So first of all I will make use of register, add view, empty. Its name will be register. Here we have got it. At the top I will use model, register view model. Similarly I will generate login view, it will have model login view model. So the next thing is to design these login and register pages, and after that we will perform the code. For login, first of all I will make sure of I'm using the correct title. It will be login. This title is being used in the layout page here. So we provide the value in the pages and it gets rendered here. Now after that I will have a div with some bootstrap classes. It will have row. Within it I will have column md3. It will be a card and it will have padding 3. Now we will have h2, that will be login. It will have text center and text info. After that we will have a form. Its action will be login. Method will be post, and here I will have a div It will be ASP validation summary. What type of validations we want to perform. We will be performing according to the model, just like these required and data type. So after that we will have a div. Its class will be mb1, and then we will have a label. This will represent the username. Next we will have input. It will have username, and the class will be form control. Basically, this ASP4 is a tag helper alongside ASP validation summary. They are used for data binding between the model and the view. So lastly, I have span. It will show the validation message. Okay. So we have username, label, input, and validation message. Its class will be text danger. Next, we have password. Lastly, we have a div. It will have MB1. It will also have form check, because here we want to add remember me, and it will be a check. It will have label, and within label it will have input. Its class will be form check label, and its class will be form check input. And here we will have ASP for remember me. And also I want to show the text. So here I will use HTML dot display for. So this is how we are displaying remember me. And lastly, we will have a div with row. It will have column 8 and also column 4. Column 8 will have an anchor tag. It will have a message don't have account, and from here I will redirect to register. Within column 4 we have input, type submit, value login, class btn, btn primary, btn small, float, and it will be displayed at the end. Similarly, I will have class here. As it is anchor tag, I don't want text decoration, and it will be float start, and also it will have margin top. So let me view this page in the browser. Okay, this is the view that we got here. Remember me is not being displayed, and also I want to show this in the center. So this remember me display for, we need to display the name of remember me. So we have display name for here, and I want to make it center. For that I will make use of bootstrap, align items center, and justify content center. I will save it, click on this. Okay, now you can see that we have login, username, password, and remember me. If I log in here, no message is being displayed. So we need to implement the post action of this page. Within account, we have login, and here we will have another login but with HTTP post. Here we will have login view model. If model state dot is valid, then we will perform login functionality. Other than that, we will return back to the view with the values of model. And here for login I need sign in manager, so I will make use of that. We will have a constructor here. This sign in manager will have the value of this parameter. This is how we inject the services in controller. So here I will use sign in manager dot sign in async. This one is awaitable, so we will make the method async, and also it will give us some result. And what does it need? It needs a user is persistent. There is another method, password sign in. What does this need? It needs user password is persistent. Model dot username comma model dot password comma model dot remember me. And the last option, logout on failure, it will be false. So I will just make sure they are not nullable. Now, after sign in, if it succeeds, we will return redirect to action, and that action will be index, comma, the controller name will be home. Okay, and if it get failed, model state dot add model error. So we'll add a message back to the page that invalid login attempt and return view with model. So in here we will sign in using password. It will pass the username, password and remember me with the last value false, that is logout on failure. If the result gets succeeded, we will go back to index and home action. If there is any model error, we will go back to the same view with messages that invalid login attempt. So this is login. If I go to controllers in home and here I write authorize. So that means this index and privacy actions will need authorization. If I run this application, you can see that if I go to privacy and get back to login, if I go to home page, I get back to login. If I click on login, I get message username is required, password is required. If we pass the values and login, we have got the message invalid login attempt. So this is how everything is working. Now we will work on register functionality and see how it goes. The only thing that I missed is the color of this text danger. And also I want to add client-side validation. For client-side validation, we need to add section with the name scripts. Why? Because in our layout, you can see that we have a section with the name scripts. So we will pass render partial async with await. So section scripts and we will render partial view because we have this partial view and it has two files that are used for client-side validation. So we will copy its name and paste it here. So one more time, view in browser. You can see that we are getting the messages without page redirect once again. Okay. So if I type, message goes. If I clear, message comes back. So this is how client-side validation works. Now the next thing is to work on register page. For register, I will make use of same design. Title will be register and here we will also have a register column MD4 and ASP action will be register. So after that I will have here we will go back to login view if the user has account and for success. Okay, now let's bind the properties. First thing is name. Before password I want to have email. And also we have password. After the password we have confirm password. And lastly we have address. So for address I will have, I missed one thing. That one thing is this address will be multi-line. For that reason I will make sure it is multi-line. This one, this is multi-line text. Okay. And in view I will have text area and we will have two rows. So this is the view for register. Let me display it in browser. Okay, fine. Have account, go to login. Don't have account, go to register page. This confirm password is not looking good. So I will make this change and work on this backend functionality. Here we have confirm password. I will display it with space. Also, I want client-side validation. So the page is complete. Let's work on its backend. I don't want to make it async. It will be login. So within register we have view. I will have its another action. It will be HTTP post. And here we will have register view model. If model state is valid, we will go inside, otherwise we will go back to the page. And within it we will have app user. User is equal to new. The name will be model.name. Username will be model.email. Similarly, email will be model.email. Lastly, address will be model.address. Now here we need another class that will be user manager, and also we will inject it here. User manager dot create async. It will be awaitable, and this method will be async. Alongside it will be task. So create async, we will pass the user here, comma, we will pass the password. It will not be nullable. If result dot succeeded, we will move on to next page. Other than that, we will go back to errors. Model state dot add model error. Key will be empty. The message will be error dot description. Okay, so if the result is succeeded, I want to sign in the user. Await sign in manager dot sign in async. Here we will pass the user alongside is persistent is equal to false. After that, we will return redirect to action index home. First of all, I defined user and assigned the respective values, and after that I created the new user. If it is succeeded, we will sign in the user and then we will return back to the home. And lastly, we have this logout. Here we will have await sign in manager dot sign out. It will be task redirect to action, name of home controller dot index action. So this is register, and we also have completed login. There is one more thing. We will have a new partial view here. Login partial, and it will have a list of navbar. Navbar nav. So if the user is sorry, I need to inject sign in manager. If the user is signed in, we want to show messages. I just missed one thing here, that is app user and is signed in. It needs the value of user, the current user, and also we have an else action. If it is signed in, we will show some different messages, and if it is not, we will show two buttons that will be for login and register. So let me go to layout. I will take out this button here and I will come here. This is one, this is another. We will have register and we will also have login. Controller will be account and action will be register. It will be login. So here I want to have a drop down. Let me go to the browser, bootstrap navbar. Here we have got drop down code. So I will copy this one, go back to my Visual Studio. Now this drop down will have a name. It will be user dot identity dot name. And within drop down we will have an action link. It will go back to logout and its controller will be ASP action logout, ASP controller account. So this will be our partial view. Now I will use it in layout just after this navbar. Now let me run this application. You can see that we have login page here, we have register here and login here. So from register I will add a new user. It will be Umair with my email. If the email is invalid, we have got the message that email is invalid. So I will fill it out. Now the password, it will be of 8 characters. If I write wrong password, I have the message passwords don't match. So I will write, we missed one thing, that we have password type here and we don't have password type here. So I will make a change for this also. The address can be Islamabad. Okay, register. You can see that we have got our username here and within it we have got logout. There is some issue with the logout. Let me go there. Username was umair@gmail.com and password was abc12345. Remember me, login. Okay, if I go to logout, so we are here. If I go to F10, sign out, redirect. Now this is not working, so that means we have issued this redirect action. I will make a change here, index comma home. Okay, and also I will go to my register view model. For confirm password I will have a type data type dot password. I will make changes and now I will go back here. Login, it will be umair@gmail.com. Password will be abc12345. Remember me, login. From here I will go to logout. I will remove the debugger and continue. Now you can see that it is working. After logout it goes to the index page and from index page it comes back to the login page, because in home controller we have set the property authorize that you cannot access these pages index and privacy, so that is why it is being redirected back to the login page. Now I want to add another account. Let's say it is Ali and ali@gmail.com. Password will be 12345678. Confirm password will be 1234567 8. You can see that this type got changed because we made changes, and the address will be Rawalpindi. So register and sign in. Successful. Log out early @gmail.com, and password is 1234567 8. So login. Okay, it is also successful. So this is how identity works in our application. So that's all from this video. Let's meet in the next video.